#Love Beyond Circumstances. In the heart of Kigali, where the city lights came alive every evening and people walked quickly from one destination to another, there lived a young woman named Amara. She was 24 years old, beautiful, intelligent, and the only daughter of a wealthy businessman who owned several companies across Rwanda. Amara had grown up surrounded by comfort. She lived in a beautiful house, drove an expensive car, wore elegant clothes, and attended some of the best events in the city. Many young men wanted to be with her, especially because of her family's wealth. But Amara was tired of being loved for the wrong reasons. Every man who approached her seemed interested in her father's money, her lifestyle, or the opportunities that came with being close to her family. She secretly wished that one day she would meet someone who would look at her and see only Amara. One rainy afternoon, something unexpected happened. Amara was driving home when she noticed a young man sitting beneath a tree near the roadside. His clothes were old and wet from the rain. Beside him was a small bag containing everything he seemed to own. She stopped her car. "Are you okay?" she asked through the open window. The young man looked up. "I'm fine," he answered quietly. Amara noticed that his eyes were different. He wasn't begging her for money. He wasn't trying to impress her. He simply looked tired. "What's your name?" she asked. "Daniel." "Where are you going?" Daniel smiled sadly. "Somewhere I can start again." His answer stayed in Amara's mind long after she drove away. The next day, she saw him again. And the day after that. Eventually, Amara learned that Daniel had once been a university student with big dreams. His father had died suddenly, leaving his family with enormous debts. Daniel had been forced to abandon his studies and look for work. After losing his job, he had ended up living on the streets. Despite everything, Daniel had refused to become bitter. He spent his days looking for small jobs and helping other people whenever he could. Amara began visiting him. At first, she brought him food. Then she began bringing books. Soon, they started talking. They talked for hours about dreams, family, life, and the kind of future they wanted. Daniel never asked Amara for money. That was what attracted her most. One evening, Amara asked him, "If you had everything you wanted, what would you do?" Daniel looked toward the sunset. "I would build a school for children who have nothing." Amara smiled. "And what would you do if you became rich?" "I would still build the school." She laughed. "Why?" "Because being poor should never mean a child has to stop dreaming." Those words touched something deep inside her. For the first time, Amara realized that the richest person she had ever met was someone who owned almost nothing. Their friendship slowly became love. They tried to hide it, but love has a way of revealing itself. Amara's father eventually noticed. One evening, he asked her directly, "Who is Daniel?" Amara froze. "He's my friend." Her father stared at her. "Just a friend?" She remained silent. Her father discovered Daniel's background and became furious. "You cannot be serious," he said. "You have everything, and you want to throw it away for a man who has nothing." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "He may have nothing in his pockets, Dad, but he has a good heart. Love doesn't pay bills." "No," Amara replied. "But money cannot buy love either." Her father ordered her to stop seeing Daniel. Amara refused. For several weeks, the conflict between father and daughter grew worse. Then one night, Daniel disappeared. Amara searched everywhere. She called his phone repeatedly, but it was switched off. She went to the places where they used to meet, but he was nowhere. Eventually, she found a letter. Amara, I love you more than I can explain. But I don't want your family to destroy you because of me. I am leaving to rebuild my life. If we are truly meant to be together, one day I will return, not as a poor man asking for permission, but as a man who has earned his place in your life. Amara cried when she read it. Months passed. Then years. Amara continued with her life, but she never forgot Daniel. Meanwhile, Daniel worked harder than he ever had before. He started with small construction jobs. He saved every coin he earned. He studied at night and eventually completed his education. Years later, he founded a small construction company. The company grew. Then he opened another business. Eventually, Daniel became a successful entrepreneur. But he never forgot his dream. He built a school for children from poor families. On the day the school opened, hundreds of children gathered to celebrate. Daniel stood before them and smiled. You should never allow your circumstances to convince you that you are worthless, he told them. Your beginning does not determine your ending. After the ceremony, Daniel received an unexpected phone call. It was Amara. His heart stopped for a moment. Hello? There was silence. Then he heard her voice. Daniel. He closed his eyes. Amara. I saw the school. Daniel smiled. How? I came. He turned around. And there she was. Standing at the entrance. The same beautiful woman he had loved years before. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Amara walked toward him. You came back, she whispered. Daniel smiled. I told you I would. She looked at him with tears in her eyes. You don't have to prove anything to me. I know. Then why did you leave? Daniel took a deep breath. Because I wanted to become the man I believed you deserved. But I eventually realized something. What? I didn't need money to deserve your love. I only needed to become the best version of myself. Amara smiled through her tears. And I waited for you. Daniel gently held her hand. This time, nobody could separate them. Even Amara's father eventually changed his mind. When he met Daniel again, he expected to see the poor young man he had once rejected. Instead, he saw a confident, humble man who had built his own life without destroying anyone else's. Amara's father extended his hand. I was wrong about you. Daniel shook his hand. You were protecting your daughter. And you still love her? Daniel looked at Amara. More than ever. Her father smiled. Then take care of her. Years later, Amara and Daniel got married. Their wedding was beautiful, but what made it special was not the expensive decorations, the luxurious cars, or the number of guests. It was the story behind their love. Two people who had met under a rainy sky. A woman who learned that wealth could not buy genuine affection. A man who learned that poverty did not define his worth. And a love that survived distance, rejection, disappointment, and time. Together, they continued Daniel's dream. They built more schools, supported struggling families, and gave opportunities to young people who believed their circumstances had already decided their future. Whenever someone asked Daniel how he became successful, he never talked first about money. He always talked about the rainy afternoon when a beautiful woman stopped her car and asked a poor stranger one simple question, "Are you okay?" And whenever someone asked Amara why she had chosen Daniel despite having countless wealthy men interested in her, she always gave the same answer. "Because he loved me when he had nothing to gain from me." Their story became a reminder that true love is not always found in luxurious houses, expensive cars, or perfect circumstances. Sometimes, love begins beside a lonely road. Sometimes, the person who owns nothing has the heart worth everything. And sometimes, the greatest love story begins when two people choose each other, not because of what they have, but because of who they are. The main lesson: never judge a person's worth by what they have today. Money can change, circumstances can change, and status can change, but good character, genuine love, determination, and kindness are priceless. Thank you for watching this video. If you like, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you next love story.